Hi, I'm Nikki Rung. I'm really excited to be sharing some of the resources that we have put together with the Be the Change Affinity Group / Task Force. I'm really excited to share with you a wonderful book that I just love reading called We Are Water Protectors. We Are Water Protectors, written by Carol Lindstrom, illustrated by Michaela Goad, and published by Roaring Brook Press. Water is the first medicine, Nokomis told me. We come from water. It nourished us inside our mother's body as it nourishes us here on Mother Earth. Water is sacred, she said. We stand with our songs and our drums. We are still here. The river's rhythm runs through my veins, runs through my people's veins. My people talk of a black snake that will destroy the land. Spoil the water, poison plants and animals, wreck everything in its path. When my people first spoke of the black snake, they foretold that it wouldn't come for many, many years. Now, the black snake is here. Its venom burns the land, courses through the water, making it unfit to drink. Take courage. I must keep the black snake away from my village's water. I must rally my people together. To stand for the water, to stand for the land, to stand as one against the black snake. We stand with our songs and our drums. We are still here. It will not be easy. We fight for those who cannot fight for themselves, the winged ones, the crawling ones, the four-legged and two-legged ones, the plants, trees, rivers, lakes, the earth. We are all related. Tears like waterfalls stream down, tracks down my face, tracks down my people's faces. Water has its own spirit, Nokomis told me. Water is alive. Water remembers our ancestors who came before us, she said. We stand with our songs and our drums. We are still here. We are stewards of the earth. Our spirits have not been broken. We are water protectors. We stand. The black snake is in for the fight of its life. Earth Steward and Water Protector Pledge. I will do my best to honor Mother Earth and all its living beings, including the water and land. I will always remember to treat the earth as I would like to be treated. I will treat the winged ones, the crawling ones, the four-legged ones, the two-legged, the plants, trees, rivers, lakes, and the earth with kindness and respect. I pledge to make this world a better place by being a steward of earth and a protector of the water. I hope that you enjoyed water protectors as much as I do. Now, I have a wonderful idea for that last page where you say that you are going to make a pledge to be an earth steward in the book. Yeah, I've got a craft for you to try. Okay, so you're gonna need some paper. I chose kind of a beige color and some blue. I've got glue and scissors and a pen or a marker. Now we're going to start with the beige paper and fold it in half. Place your hand along the folded edge and then trace your hand, being careful to trace all 5 fingers to the edge. And now cut the hand all the way out, just like this, being careful not to cut off your fingertips. Okay, once complete, then you will have what looks like 2 hands together. Now, with the blue paper, fold that in half and draw a shape that looks like a raindrop. I didn't like the first one that I did, so I drew another one that was a little bit wider at the base. I'm going to cut that out and then place it along the folded edge so that I can make 3 more. After you've got the 3 drawn, you can cut out all of them. So they're all the same shape and size. And now you can glue them together. Keeping them folded, place glue on one side of one of the raindrops and put another one on top of it. And repeat this step with all of the raindrops. Now, adding glue to the very top, place the raindrops right along the folded edge in the middle of the hands. Add more glue to the other side, and then push it down to the other side of the hands. Now you can see that you've got kind of a 3D raindrop. On the front of your hand, write your name. My name is Nikki, and then I'm writing, I am a water protector. This is my pledge to be a water protector. Thank you for joining me today with the Water Protectors book and our pledge craft.
Hey everybody, my name is Esther Crow and I'm an award-winning singer, songwriter, educator, puppeteer, and climate activist living in New York City. Earth Day is April 22nd, but I like to say every day is Earth Day. So I have a brand new album dropping on April 22nd called Listen, Lead, Love. And the most recent single that I released with an accompanying video is called The Leader in You. And it features the wonderful Father Goose music, as well as some wonderfully talented kids from Care Africa Orphanage in Uganda. Take a look all around. What do you see? Is there a friend you can help out? Someone in need, reach out, lend a hand in your community. I wrote this song to motivate myself, my 9-year-old son Vincent, and other kids and families to be leaders in their own communities and across the world. I see a world of possibilities to make the changes that are necessary. Dig deep to find the time and energy. Don't wait, we need a sense of urgency. The climate crisis affects all of us. It's a global issue, but it especially affects the global south, which is why I wanted to shine a light on Uganda.
It's all to me and you. Call how the government don't have a clue like kangaroo. They're jumping around all the issues. Out of many know that we are one. Don't see it badly with a helping hand. Looking for the meaning of life, just create
I see you and me and you and me will be the hope and change that we want to see. I see you and me and you and me. I see the leader in you. You see the leader in me.
Questions for the classroom. Ask your kids, what ways can you be leaders? At home, at school, in your neighborhood, and even globally. Kids are never too young to lead efforts. Starting a petition for an endangered animal, volunteering at a local soup kitchen, creating artwork for protests or writing songs is another way to get kids involved. They love it.
Possibilities to make the changes that are necessary. Dig deep to find the time and energy. Don't wait. We need a sense of urgency.
Joining a march or a rally with Fridays for Future, as I did recently with my pal Sustainable Sammy. Chanting and singing in the streets with other people can be a lot of fun. Helping to organize your kids to do a clothing swap or a book swap or even a Halloween costume swap. Or make your own Halloween costumes at school. There's a song to encourage that on my album called Homemade Halloween.
Make your own.
Book resources for leadership. I love reading Yertle the Turtle by Dr. Seuss to the very young and asking them, who is the real leader? Spoiler alert, it's Mac at the bottom of the stack because he speaks up. And speaking of speaking up, Stand Up, Speak Up, a story inspired by the Climate Change Revolution by Andrew Joyner is another great one for very young kids or kids of all ages, really. For slightly older kids, 5 to 10, 6 to 10, What a Waste by Jess French. Trash, Recycling, and Protecting Our Planet. This is a wonderful, wonderful book with a lot of suggestions for kids. And a wonderful activity book, tons of activities and interactivity, and all eco-friendly. Now here's some resource slides for you, including the books that I talked about, some organizations that the older kids can get involved with, and some wonderful kindy artists. I wish I could name them all. There's so many more out there, but this is just to get you started. Thanks so much for listening, and now let's go out and encourage our kids to be leaders.
My name is Cindy Haws Rice, and I am in the Kindy Music Project Strawberry Yops. I'm also an accessible music teacher at the Rosedale School in Austin, Texas, and we serve students with multiple disabilities. I wanted to share with you one of my very favorite songs to use for Earth Day, and I wanted to show you a couple of different ways in which I would use this in my classroom for the different levels that I serve.
Hello, future. I don't know about you, but I live on Earth, so every day is Earth Day. Look, we made a mess. Time to pick things up, bad habits. Time to switch things up, it's so tragic. Why we still drinking water bottles made of plastic? The least that you can do is get you a refillable. The plastic ends up in the ocean killing animals. The trash on the land is not biodegradable. Better habits start at home, my dude. How you gonna clean up the earth if you don't clean your room?
I'm gonna start with the most basic level of using this song in a classroom transition. Honestly, you could use it year round. Doesn't have to just be for Earth Day. As you know, when you have a classroom full of young children, you need to make cleaning up and picking up a fun activity. So this song is absolutely perfect for that. So you can play this song and just ask the students to get everything in their area picked up by the end of the song, and it makes it really fun. In this next segment, you'll see my children cleaning up their playroom, throwing in some dance moves. They got everything cleaned up and worked together to clean up by the end of the song. So let's check that out.
Hello, future. I don't know about you, but I live on Earth, so every day is Earth Day. Pick it up, put it back, switch it up, swap it out, pick it up, put it back, switch it up, swap it out, pick it up, put it back, switch it up, swap it out.
How does it feel when our spaces are dirty and cluttered and there's trash everywhere? A good time to use this activity might be like after lunch, after snack, anytime when there's a lot of actual trash. In this clip, I have one child holding a bag. All the children are helping and working together to clean up the actual trash. So they're gonna pick up the whole living room, and they're doing it with the song, and they're having a good time. They're not complaining, they're enjoying themselves. We're gamifying the experience of cleaning up. You could talk about picking up litter and helping out and being good stewards of the environment by picking up trash, and that you could pick up trash anywhere at any time. So this is just another fun way to use this song and actually pick up trash in your spaces.
Look, we made a mess. Time to pick things up, bad habits. Time to switch things up, it's so tragic. Why we still drinking water bottles made of plastic? The least that you can do is get you a refillable. The plastic ends up in the ocean killing animals. The trash on the land is not biodegradable. Better habits start at home, my dude. How you gon' clean up the earth if you don't clean your room?
The next activity I'm gonna show you is one of my favorites. This would be really great for pre-K, kindergarten. I think kids are gonna like this up until 2nd or 3rd grade maybe. And this is a really fun movement activity. And so we're just gonna kind of use our imaginations and pretend that our rainbow scarves are actual trash. And so what I do is I scatter these, and of course it's very fun when you throw these. I scatter these all around the room. Same concept, but it's more of a game. By the end of the song, we have to make sure that all of the rainbow scarves are back in the bag or back in the basket. But what happens is this, which makes this one particularly fun for me as a teacher, is that as they're putting them in the bags, I'm just throwing them back out again. And they just think that's ridiculous. I, of course, make sure that I know when the song's about to end and make sure the last scarf is going in the bag as the song ends, so they feel like they've accomplished something. And as you can see, I did this in my home with my 3 boys, and they absolutely loved it.
Pick it up, put it back, switch it up, swap it out, pick it up, put it back, switch it up, swap it out, pick it up, put it back, switch it up, swap it out, pick it up, put it back, switch it up, swap it out, pick it up, put it back, switch it up, swap it out, pick it up, put it back, switch it up, swap it out, pick it up, put it back, switch it up, swap it out, pick it up, put it back, switch it up, swap it out, pick it up, put it back, switch it up, swap it out, pick it up, put it back, switch it up, swap it out. Yeah.
Next level, choreography. If you watch the video, you have access to screens. You can watch a few showing the moves. You can watch a lot of different people doing the moves and the choreography along with the song, and it's really fun.
Hey, pick it up, put it back, switch it up, swap it out, pick it up, put it back, switch it up, swap it out, pick it up, put it back, switch it up, swap it out.
The way the song is structured is that the chorus has the choreography, and the rest of the song you can just freestyle. It's a great listening activity, and it's also super fun. It actually goes pretty quickly, so it has kind of that silly quotient where it might be almost impossible to do the moves correctly the first time. So even as a teacher, you can, you can model that this is pretty fast and I can't really do it this quickly. And the students will think that's fun, and they'll think it's fun to watch each other fail a little bit and be vulnerable. That's really fun as well.
Pick it up, put it back, switch it up, swap it out. Pick it up, put it back, switch it up, swap it out. Pick it up, put it back, switch it up, swap it out. Pick it up, put it back, switch it up, swap it out. Pick it up, put it back, switch it up, swap it out. Pick it up, put it back, switch it up, swap it out. Pick it up, put it back, switch it up, swap it out. Yeah.
They're not gonna get it the first time probably, so it's gonna be fun, it's gonna be silly. They're gonna feel pretty cool when they nail it. Little ones, you could still do it, but I wouldn't do the fast time. Do the slower version.
Pick it up, put it back, switch it up, swap it out. Pick it up, put it back, switch it up, swap it out. Pick it up, put it back, switch it up, swap it out. Pick it up, put it back, switch it up, swap it out. Pick it up, put it back, switch it up, swap it out. Pick it up, put it back, switch it up, swap it out. Pick it up, put it back, switch it up, swap it out. Yeah. Look, we made a mess. Time to pick things up, bad habits. Time to switch things up, it's so tragic. Why we still drinking water bottles made of plastic? The least that you can do is get you a refillable. The plastic ends up in the ocean killing animals. The trash on the land is not biodegradable. Better habits start at home, my dude. How you gon' clean up the earth if you don't clean your room?
And then the next step is to use this song as a prompt in a restorative circle. Use this as a discussion point. Let's talk about what happens to the earth when there's trash everywhere. Let's talk about how it feels when our spaces are cluttered and dirty. Let's talk about what happens to the animals when there's trash on the ground, there's trash in the oceans. There's so many different discussion points that you can use this song to tie into a really compelling lesson. So I'm gonna share with you a lesson that I used in the AISD elementary music curriculum to really go deep with this concept.
Yeah, do you know where your trash goes? To a landfill, but we feel those. Zero waste is the new goal. It's not enough if we just recycle. Refuse if you don't need it. I don't need that. Reuse, use it again then. If it breaks, try to repair it. You can fix that. When you finish, then you can share it. Re-gift it.
Even if we're not responsible for the mess, we can still be stewards of the earth by helping clean up. And it's a very simple way to make the earth cleaner and a better place to live and a better home. Thank you.
Let the world be well. Oh, let the world be well. I will do my part to let the world be well. Hear the sound, hear the call. Let the world be well. In harmony with one and all. Let the world be well. Let the wildlife live. Oh, let the wildlife live. I will do my part to let the wildlife live. Hear the sound, hear the call. Let the wildlife live. In harmony with one and all. Let the wildlife live.
Hi everybody, my name's Alex Alberta and I'm here to talk to you about how to use that song I just sang, Let the World Be Well by Pam Donkin, in your classrooms. I'll be offering some activities both for lower elementary and upper elementary, including some pitch exercises, some rhythm activities, and then some form and some movement. So without further ado, let's go. In terms of rhythmic possibilities, throughout the whole song, there's the theme of that eighth note kind of off the beat, the let the world be well, oh let the world be well. So just talking about that, you could also have them clap out just that part like I just did, using rhythm sticks, using drums, right, but isolating that specific part, so having them maybe play the beat. The world be well, oh let the world be well. Back to the beat. I will do my part to let the world be well. So this next activity in terms of pitch might be for your younger learners. So either your preschoolers or your kindergarteners, any age who is starting to explore high versus low, right? So I'm going to use a scarf for this activity. You can specifically say or add in, okay, let's trace when it goes high or when it goes low. Let the world be well, oh let the world be well. I will do my part to let the world be well. For your older grades, this would be an awesome opportunity either to talk about mi, re, do, or to start talking about octave jumps. Do, do. So in terms of the mi, re, do, you could sing the song, and anytime they hear the mi, re, do, they can show the hand signs. So I will do my part to let the world be well, and go through that with all of the verses. It's also a good opportunity to talk about do as a home tone, right? How the phrase ends on mi, re, do. And then in terms of your octave jumps, you could also use a scarf for this, but just practicing the let the world be well. You could also use a beanbag to throw and catch. Let the world be well. Kind of also giving them the motion of kind of throwing it up lightly. I'm going to combine form and movement together because I think they lend to each other well. You can create some simple movements for the chorus part. During the verses, you can either have them sway to the beat or maybe walk around the room to the beat, really listening for that part that comes back, the hear the sound, hear the call. So maybe walking the world be well, oh let the world be well, I will do my part to let the world be well. They stop, hear the sound, hear the call, let the world be well, in harmony with one and all, let the world be well. And then using that through the other verses as well, through the whole song, either with the same motions for each time that chorus comes back, or you can choose different motions for each time that chorus comes back. I hope you all enjoyed and hopefully took something away with you that you can use in your classrooms, and I wish you a very happy Earth Day.
Hi friends, I'm Lisa Heinz from littlesongbird.com. I'm going to read a wonderful story to you today called The Curious Garden. Now curious might mean interesting, or it could mean something that you're interested in knowing more about. To be curious is a good thing. And sometimes curious can mean odd or a little unusual. So let's find out through this story what curious garden is. There once was a city without gardens or trees or greenery of any kind. Most people spent their time indoors. As you can imagine, it was a very dreary place. If you notice, the colors are kind of dark. And there's a lot of smoke puffing out of the chimneys. However, there was one boy who loved being outside. Even on drizzly days, while everyone else stayed inside, you could always find Liam happily splashing through his neighborhood. It was on one such splashy morning that Liam made several surprising discoveries. He was wandering around the old railway, as he did from time to time, when he stumbled upon a dark stairwell leading up to the railroad tracks. The railway had stopped working years ago, and since Liam had always wanted to explore the tracks, there was only one thing for that curious boy to do. Liam ran up the stairs, pushed open the door, and stepped out onto the railway. The first thing he saw was a lonely patch of color. Wildflowers and plants were the last things he had expected to find up there. But when he took a closer look, it became clear that the plants were dying. They needed a gardener to tend them. Look how dark and dreary it is up there. Broken railroad tracks and this sad little plant that needs some help. That little bit of color. Liam may not have been a gardener, but he knew that he could help. So he returned to the railway the very next day and got right to work. The flowers nearly drowned, and he had a few pruning problems. That means snipping and cutting. But the plants patiently waited while Liam found better ways of gardening. As the weeks rolled by, Liam began to feel like a real gardener, and the plants began to feel like a real garden too. So here he is. Remember, he's just getting started at this. He doesn't know a lot about how much water they need or how much trimming they might need. Here he is singing to them. I like that. Even plants like music. Most gardens stay in one place, but this was no ordinary garden. With miles of open railway ahead of it, the garden was growing restless. It wanted to explore. The tough little weeds and mosses were the first to move. They popped up farther and farther and farther down the tracks and were closely followed by the more delicate plants. Over the next few months, Liam and the Curious Garden explored every corner of that railway. So here they are. So when it says that they move, they just kind of grow their roots further down so that they can come up and pop up with flowers and moss further down. They can do that with their roots underground. And here they are. Wow, checking out all the spaces. Still, there's a lot of smoke coming out of those chimneys. Oh my word, would you look at that? Look at all those flowers. A huge field of flowers. And did you see the chimney with the smoke coming? Now, smoke is not good for our air. That's called pollution. Oh, look at what's happening in that railway garden. You see? Wow. After spending his spring and summer and autumn, that's fall, with his garden, Liam's time on the railway was finally interrupted by winter, and in the winter comes snow. Heavy blankets of snow fell on the city that season, and for the first time since he had become a gardener, Liam could not visit the plants. And here you can see the garden is way up here on the railway tracks, but Liam is way down below, wishing he could go up and visit. Rather than waste his winter worrying about the garden, Liam spent it preparing for spring. And after 3 cold months, the snow finally began to melt away, and Liam rolled his new gardening gear over to the railway. I love that he spends his time reading up on what it means to be a good gardener and how he can take better care of his garden. Here he is with all his new supplies for gardening. Winter had taken a toll on the garden. Oh dear. But thanks to Liam's planning, his handy new tools, and a little help from the sun above, the plants soon awoke from their winter sleep. So we can see winter was kind of tough on the plants. It's pretty cold and snow can freeze your plants. But Liam was at the ready to help them pop back up and come back to life. The garden had always wanted to explore the rest of the city. And that spring, it was finally ready to make its move. Once again, the tough little weeds and mosses set out first, and then they popped up farther and farther and farther and farther from the railway, and were closely followed by those more delicate plants, the little flowers. The garden was especially curious about old, forgotten things. Like an old car. And this is an old vent along the side of the sidewalk here. I don't know where that goes, but there's a tree growing out of it. A few plants popped up where they didn't belong. Oops. There's a plant that grew over the stop sign. You'll see it in a second. And over a fire hydrant. No, plants don't belong there. Other plants mysteriously popped up all at once. Oh, see. Look at that. And Liam had to remove the plants from where they didn't belong. And look, some flowers popped up right in front of that man's house. And, ooh, somebody mysterious delivering new plants. Who do you think that mysterious character is? With the wheelbarrow and the hat and the sunglasses? But the most surprising things that popped up were new gardeners. Wow. Look how excited everyone is to have something natural to take care of. Little gardeners are popping up all over the city to take care of those new plants that have shown up unexpectedly. Now, there's a lot of pictures in these pages, so I'm going to hold this up. Wow, even in a pond? Look where somebody has snipped and trimmed some plants until they look like the shapes of animals. I think that might be Liam's friend, maybe. Plants everywhere, and people gardening and taking care of them so nicely, all over the city. Many years later, the entire city had blossomed, but of all the new gardens, Liam's favorite was the place where it all began. The last page shows the whole city all at once, all green, thriving and growing happily, with many, many happy gardeners. Plants make me happy too. They make me remember to take care of nature, to enjoy being outside where there are leaves and plants and bugs and creepy crawly things and critters that I can enjoy watching. I love being part of nature, and I like taking care of it. I hope you do too. Happy Earth Day.
I'm a little seed, watch me grow. Will you shine your light, let the water flow? I will spread my leaves, reach for the sun. Flowers blossoming